The morning light hadn't yet broken fully through the clouds when Micky turned to face the caravanners, his eyes scanning the tree line like something might leap from it any second. "We're cutting the trip short," he said. "Pack up, we're heading back to Terminus." There was a moment of hesitation. Some of them looked around at the half-emptied supply crates and scattered sleeping gear. One of the older men, a lean, wiry type with a long coat stitched together from old fabric, frowned. "But we haven't—" "I said we're leaving." Micky's voice cut through the morning air like a blade. He wasn't shouting, but the edge in his tone made the man close his mouth and start moving. The others followed suit, wordlessly folding tarps, tying bundles, shouldering what they could carry. No one argued again. Micky kept watch while they worked, standing still, hand resting lightly on the hilt of his blade. The forest beyond the clearing was quiet, too quiet. No birds, no breeze. Just the occasional rustle of movement that stopped the second he turned his head. He didn't like it. Half an hour later, the caravan was on the road, single file, packs on backs, feet crunching gravel. Micky walked behind the lead, one hand on the shoulder strap of his gear, the other near his weapon. His breath misted slightly in the cool air. The road ahead twisted between thick clusters of trees. Shadows spilled over the path in long slanted streaks. Every so often, someone would glance over their shoulder at Micky, looking for reassurance. He didn't give any. He just walked, eyes sharp, ears sharper. A branch snapped somewhere to their right. Micky froze. The road back to Terminus cut through what had once been farmland, low hills and overgrown fields now choked with wild growth. The sky was grey, with the sun fighting to break through a blanket of clouds. The group moved fast but quiet, packs thrown together in haste, carts creaking under the weight of salvaged gear. Micky led the way, eyes always on the tree line, every step careful. Something felt wrong. Birds scattered too suddenly. The wind shifted but carried no sound, no insects, no rustle of grazing animals. Just that too deep quiet that only meant one thing: people. "Hold up," Micky said, raising a fist. The caravanners stopped behind him, heads turning in anxious silence. Then it came, snap, a deliberate crunch of branches from the underbrush. Before anyone could react, they were on them. Scavengers, 8 of them. Filthy, leather and metal patchwork armor, faces smeared with soot and paint, blades in every hand. Rusted machetes, broken axes, sharpened rebar. No words, just a guttural cry as they charged. "Defensive circle," Micky bellowed, drawing his blade. The caravanners scrambled to form a rough ring, carts pulled close. A few of them had spears or long knives, tools more than weapons, but they held them with desperate resolve. Micky met the first attacker head-on, ducking under a wild swing and slamming his shoulder into the man's gut. As the scavenger staggered back, Micky drove his blade clean through his chest, twisted and yanked it free. Another lunged at a boy on the edge of the circle, barely 16, clutching a makeshift spear. Micky reached him just in time, grabbing the scavenger by the back of the head and slamming it into the side of the cart with a wet crunch. The body slid down, twitching. Steel clashed against wood, grunts and cries filled the air. One of the caravan women, grey-haired but still fast, jammed a kitchen blade into a raider's thigh and brought him down screaming. Micky's arms were streaked with blood, some his, most not, but he didn't stop moving. Every swing of his blade was purposeful, brutal. Another attacker went down with a gurgling noise as Micky drove the point of his weapon beneath his jaw. The rest broke. Cowards at heart, scavengers didn't fight to the death unless cornered. The 3 that remained bolted back into the woods. Micky didn't pursue. He stood in the mud, chest heaving, blood dripping from his forearms. Around him, the survivors checked wounds, caught breath, wiped blades. A young woman cradled a man's arm, split open from wrist to elbow. Another had a deep cut across the ribs, but was still standing. Micky moved to the worst of them, a quiet older man with a broken knee and a split scalp. He crouched, inspected the wound, tore off a strip from his own sleeve to bind it. "We can't take another hit like that," one of the caravanners muttered. "We won't," Micky said. They made the rest of the journey without speaking. Every step felt slower now, but when the shimmer of Terminus finally rose above the trees, a faint blue dome behind the wind towers, They all seemed to stand a little taller. Guards opened the gates. No questions, no time. Micky got them inside, handed them off to waiting hands, and started walking again before anyone could stop him. "Micky," a voice called out, "you need rest." He didn't turn back, just secured the last strap of his gear and headed for the western gate. "Need to catch up with Elli and Oakley," he muttered.